Good evening. My name is Luis Pryor Ortiz, and we'll be talking about MDMA. Methyl oxymethamphetamine, or more commonly known as MDMA or ecstasy, is a synthetic drug derived by chemist E. Merkel in Germany in 1912. MDMA is considered and classified a stimulant due to its properties of being partly an amphetamine and also a hallucinogen due to its mesokine properties. Both have been found to induce said effect. So, what is MDMA made of? Well, in its purest form, MDMA is derived from propranolol, safranol, and isoferol. These three chemical compounds are derived from organic materials. Purpurolol stems from high bush berries, and isoferol and safranol are derived from sassafrans and essential oils. MDMA also takes in the form of ecstasy, which is the exact same thing as MDMA but with additives such as caffeine and amphetamine to enhance the effects of the drug. Some other information. MDMA takes many forms, in such as capsules, press pills, and even powder. Today, at-home pill presses are easily available to purchase. This has contributed to an increase of at-home production of MDMA and ecstasy. The rave culture has adopted ecstasy as its choice of drug. It has been praised as the social drug of rave culture. The effects of ecstasy are ideally amplified in a rave setting. Loud music, dancing, and large crowds all enhance the drug's effects. 90% of MDMA is imported from European countries such as Belgium and the Netherlands. Here are some of the pharmacodynamics, or in other words, the effects of drugs and its mechanisms of their actions. When taking MDMA, a release of neurotransmitters is secreted from the brain to nerve endings. Serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine all are released from the brain. Serotonin is responsible for maintaining and altering moods, and if deficient of this neurotransmitter, depression is often seen. Norepinephrine increases the concentration and energy levels of someone, and dopamine is responsible for the feeling of euphoria and pleasure. Pharmacokinematics, or the movement of drugs within your body, have these effects: increase heart rate, increase blood pressure, decrease appetite, inability to sleep, dry mouth, or sweating. MDMA is considered a smooth amphetamine and does not appear to cause severe depression, crash, or violent behaviors associated with traditional amphetamines. Major issues for the proponent side of MDMA use. Because MDMA uses a Schedule I drug, governmentally funded institutions are not allowed to use MDMA for clinical trials. Clinical trials would see the effects that MDMA has against depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. In privately funded clinical trials, MDMA or ecstasy is seen to have some effects to deter this disorder. Fortunately, the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, deemed MDMA a breakthrough treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder. Because of this designation of a breakthrough treatment, testing will continue in 2018 consequences when used. Of course, recreational use leads to physical emergencies and even fatalities. Evidence shows that high dosage can lead to significant damage to the serotonin receptors, which can lead to psychological disturbances and memory loss. Ultimately, death is the main concern of these opponents. The main cause of death when using MDMA is hyperthermia. Since MDMA stimulates the central nervous system, which then also regulates thermal regulation, death typically occurs when copious amount of MDMA is taken. Recently, 29 deaths have occurred since 2006 connected to a rave organization in California for not thoroughly checking in people who had drugs. And finally, addiction is a major issue for opponents. Of course, with large doses and high frequency, MDMA becomes very highly addictive. In conclusion, MDMA is a popular drug among the youth and many party subcultures. Though it has a high drug scheduling, it will be tested for treatments against psychological disorders in the future. When used correctly, MDMA can be relatively safe. Of course, excessive dosages can lead to damage in neurons and even death. Thank you very much for listening and have a great day.